Olha só minha cotovela, tu nunca prestou atenção. No bico do fuzil, toma só rajadão. Ai, toma, 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 ai, toma rajadão.
No bico do fuzil, tu nunca prestou atenção.
Ai, toma, 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 ai, toma rajadão.
When it comes to being always alert, Spider-Man is the best.
Who can hide me? Who can hide me? Crushing my lips and her teeth. Down the man. Ricky's number taters on my feet. Who can hide me?
Red boy, huh?
Hey, Spider-Man.
Make me think I'm so annoying. I know I'm not annoying. Baby, I'm a fucking star.
You're too late, Spider-Man. I designed this power grid. Now I'm gonna take back what is rightfully mine. I will control everything, and I will be like a god to them.
A god named Sparkles?
Don't move! You serious? Who are you?
No one seems to grasp the concept of the mask.
Freeze!
Hey! 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 Hey!
Stick around and you'll find out. Don't you wanna make me proud? 'Cause I'm so proud. Baby, I'm so proud of you.
What's wrong? It's Mary Jane. She dies. Tonight. Right there at Alchemax.
How do you know? For shock's sake, Parker, what part of Don't Poke Around in the Archives was unclear?
Fine, I'm a nosy Parker, but now that I found out,
It's what? My job to save her? I've got enough to deal with.
you can't mean that. You can't just ignore that she's in danger.
Hey, I'm trying to focus on what's important.
What's important is not standing by and allowing someone to suffer or die because you do nothing. If you don't get that, then you don't get the first thing about being Spider-Man.
real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. But Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't blame on me.
But I am. I'm hurt, and I'm tired, and I want to go home, and I want to sleep, and I don't want to be here, and I think... Can I let this one go? Can I let it be someone else's problem? Just for a minute? So I can rest? No, I can't. But I wish I could. God, but I wish I could.
Poor Peter Parker.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
This is my gift, my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man dodging Thor's hammer. That can cover a full galaxy round trip in 1 minute. Spider-Man dodging light speed without trying. And here's some of his strength feats that Homelander cannot do. Spider-Man hitting and staggering the Hulk. Lifting the weight of a skyscraper while injured. Spider-Man lifting a planet with his weight. And now for his durability. Spider-Man withstanding Hulk punches. That was able to stop time by 1 punch. Just using 1 durability feat from Spider-Man.
Spider-Man holds an entire building? In the city of New York, the Green Goblin has brought devastating damage to the entire area, while telling himself that he killed Spider-Man. Suddenly, Peter's spidey sense starts tingling, marking the beginning of the pumpkin bomb that was about to explode in a building. The bomb goes off, but the building doesn't fall. At the bottom, holding the massive weight coming down, was Spider-Man. Doing this by himself, Peter begins to feel the overwhelming weight and nearly gives up until he remembers the guilt of not being able to save Uncle Ben. With this motivation, Peter lifts the building and reattaches the pillars with his webs. Later, Peter goes to visit.
One of the best things about being a Spider-Man fan is telling people how strong Peter actually is and looking at their reactions. You could always start the haters off with something light like this, where you have Peter picking up a T-90 tank, which weighs around 46 tons, I believe, and just completely destroying it. As a matter of fact, he doesn't just pick up that one and throw it. He picks up another one and swings it into another T-90 tank at the force to destroy the other T-90 tank. Or we can account another one of his most notable feats is constantly catching subways or picking up insane amounts of debris. What about the time Peter completely lifted a section of the Daily Bugle's building with his own power and then put it back on its own foundation? That's 46 stories, around 180,000 tons that he lifted on his own. Fuck Jameson, swear. That's a hater. That's a hater. We can also talk about another notable feat that Peter often has where he just beats the shit out of Iron Man suits. Or what about the time Thor threw Mjolnir and Spider-Man caught it with a web and redirected it? That's how strong he is. Put some respect on Peter's name next time you talk about Spider-Man.
Tobey's Spider-Man. Out of the 3 live-action Spider-Man that we've seen, only one arises above the rest as the strongest. From Stan Lee's imagination to our eyes, we saw Spider-Man come to life, with this Spider-Man taking on some of the strongest villains we've ever seen. And yet in the end, 3 of his villains killed themselves, unable to defeat him. So today I'll show you what strength really looks like, because who knew getting bit by a spider would let you crush mountains in your hands? Even from the beginning, Tobey was able to perceive the world 300 times slower when first getting his spider sense, with flies beating their wings 1,000 times a second. And at the climax of the very first movie, Tobey fights against the Green Goblin on the bridge and is able to catch a tram car with one arm, with this tram car being the Roosevelt Island tramway that weighs 41,000 pounds at max capacity, and he's able to hold this and the cable after taking 2 full-speed punches from the Goblin on his glider. But in the second movie, he gets exponentially stronger. Tobey, after getting his powers back, is able to slow down a 6-car train going 80 miles an hour to 0 within 40 seconds. So the question is, how many pounds of force would it take to decelerate this train? We can find the rate of deceleration using this formula, where A equals deceleration, V equals the final velocity, U equals the starting velocity, and T is for time. After plugging in all the numbers, you should get 0.745 meters per second squared. Plugging in the weight and the deceleration into the force formula, Tobey would be exerting 1,438,254.8 pounds of force, and taking in the context behind the scene, Tobey, after not being Spider-Man for months, gets his powers back and immediately fights Doc Ock, and after the entire fight and getting hit by a train, he's still able to perform this feat, meaning this is what he can do after 2 huge nerfs to his strength. But at the climax of this movie is where it gets absolutely insane. Doc Ock was able to take the electric shock of the power source of the pseudo-sun, with the energy of the first one being stated in the novelization for the Spider-Man 2 movie to be equivalent to 1,000 megawatts. However, the second one would be even more, considering it sustained itself. Doc Ock was able to withstand the shock for 10 seconds and converting megawatts to joules. We see that this would be a large building level durability feat. And of course, Tobey would scale above it, as Tobey is able to overpower his mechanical arms on multiple occasions, and even in the Spider-Man 2 novelization, it was stated that while Doc Ock was fighting Spider-Man, his punches were so heavy that Doc Ock was about to pass out, and his arms were screaming out for any way to defeat him, with these arms even being stated to be able to adapt to Tobey's fighting style, but they can't adapt to these right hooks. Tobey was able to hold a warehouse wall that was being pulled in by the pseudo-sun, with this sun having enough gravitational pull that it was stated to be pulling everything in the entire city that wasn't tied down, meaning this feat would convert to 307,467,965 joules, or 226,776,733,177 pounds, or city block plus levels of energy. And once again, the context behind this scene makes it crazy. Toby just woke up from his train feat and immediately fights Doc Ock again. And even after all of that, he's still able to perform this feat while holding back. He went as far as to pull MJ from the pull of the pseudo-sun. And considering how close she was, this takes over 11,488,946 tons. But it's not over yet. He's able to tank pumpkin bombs from the Green Goblin right to the face, the same bombs that are able to blow up bridges and turn people to ash. Even if you want to argue that these are different bombs, Goblin thought that not a single weapon in his entire arsenal will be able to kill Spider-Man, saying that Toby is all but invincible, deciding to attack Toby mentally before trying to fight him. And it was even stated in a novelization for the first Spider-Man movie that if Goblin didn't have his helmet, the first web strike would have took his head off. Entering into Spider-Man Far From Home, we finally get to see all 3 live-action Spider-Man together in one movie, which means we get to see who really is the strongest. In this movie, Tom fights against the Goblin and gets absolutely bodied, even getting his punches laughed at. When we get to the final fight, the Goblin was able to push Tom to get bloodlusted and was still able to land hits. When we compare this to Toby, I have to laugh. Toby, after being bloodlusted, was beating the Goblin so bad that he begged for his life, and this was with the same helmet on. And it was stated in a novelization that this bloodlust didn't even make him stronger. All it did was return him to his normal base strength. And what's even crazier is that when Goblin launched his glider at Spider-Man, he didn't even try to get out of the way regardless if Toby dodged it or not, meaning his only option was to try to kill himself and take Toby with him. That's wild. Toby even fought against Harry, who was stated to have perfected the Goblin Serum, making him an even stronger Green Goblin. And Toby is more worried about losing his wedding ring than Harry, who is actively trying to kill him. And when he decides to take the fight the slightest bit seriously, he almost ends his life. Moral of the story, trying to catch Toby lacking at night gets you fighting for your life on the operating table, beating one Goblin out of insanity, and beating the memories out of another.
Avenge me! No!
Tom Spider-Man on the high end is able to stop attacks from Call Obsidian, who can fight against an even stronger Hulkbuster, who can match the Hulk, who can match Thor, who can do this. With these feats getting him to country level, but that would be the highball. Toby in this movie is even able to outperform Andrew in their quick exchange, with Andrew being able to dodge electricity, making his speed high hypersonic. And even at the climax, Andrew is able to get tagged by the lizard multiple times, but Toby doesn't. And the only time he does get tagged, it's Andrew's fault. But what happens when an alien symbiote from space bonds with the most powerful person on the planet? Toby, after receiving the black suit, is able to get a huge amp to his strength, with Eddie Brock, a normal guy, being able to get the symbiote suit and match and even overpower Spider-Man's strength. Meaning Toby, when he got the symbiote suit, would get a Spider-Man boost on top of his normal strength. Comparing the average pounds of force that a grown man can exert in comparison to Spider-Man, we see that even at a low ball, Spider-Man would be 13,441 times stronger than the average person. If we put this amp on top of Toby's feats, his strength is absolutely ridiculous. And we see evidence of this as Toby gets the symbiote suit and is amazed at the strength that he possesses. And he fully understands that a person getting the symbiote suit would be able to match his strength. If we throw this 13,000 times boost on top of Toby's sun feat, Toby would be able to crush mountains comparable to Mount Fuji. And what's crazy about this is that in the Spider-Man 3 novelization, it was stated that Venom had the power to crush mountains. While this might be hyperbolic for Venom, Black Suit Spider-Man can actually do it. Overall, Toby's Spider-Man would scale from multi-city block level to country with high hypersonic speed. And shout out to Phoenix, who dropped 50 to sponsor this video. Because in the end, only one can be the strongest, and the strongest is clear. But make sure you never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility. This is his gift, his curse. Because when was the last time that you remember that somebody was so strong that he had his villains praying to God to defeat him? What's up, guys?
Spidey, you're with me.
Really? You want me with you? I mean, sure. If you need me for the big throwdown, I'm in.
People underestimate the webhead. He's just a kid, but he's tough, handy in a fight. And he's smart.